Welcome to Careers from the Kitchen Table Show. I'm excited because I have a very close friend. I mean, she's such a huge influencer. It's crazy how much this lady is always in the media for a reason, because she always has something awesome to say. So let me tell you about Marty a little bit. Okay. Her name is Marty Ward, and after going from being worth over $1 million to having $7.41 in her bank, Marty Ward figured out how to kiss procrastination goodbye. You ever been there? The Tag for Change program that Marty originally designed for entrepreneurs to actually build their belief in themselves. Well, Marty now teaches in schools and corporations all around the world through her nonprofits, Confidence Eliminates Bullying Incorporated. And she's even taken it further now. So you're going to hear about some things, some new things that she's doing. And you're going to find out a little bit about a trip that she went to Africa. We got some pictures to share with you. So a lot of good stuff right here on Careers from the Kitchen Table, the show that teaches you how to cook without the cooking, give you some good old home recipes for your success. Marty Ward, come on down. Let's start off by just sharing a little bit about you. I'm taking myself off the screen, kind of share with them, because, I know you from the lady that was a big advocate for bullying, and I know you're in the process of transitioning now. So just kind of share your love for that. What got you into wanting to be an advocate for those people that were dealing with bullying? Let's start there, and then we got a lot more. And I want to welcome Susan. Thank you, Susan, for being here. We appreciate you. She's looking in at you as well, Marty. So take it away. Why don't you share that with us?
All right. So how it all got started, Raven, is that I was a success coach. And after I went through that journey of going from being worth over $1 million to $7 in my bank account, I figured out how to turn myself around by unlocking my creative potential one day and sitting down for 12 hours and writing the first book I published. And I realized that I unlocked my talents, my abilities, and my gifts, which is the very essence of who we are. And so I have helped entrepreneurs, hundreds of entrepreneurs since then, to increase their income 10 to 500%. And during that process, I ran into an article on the internet about a little girl named Ashlyn Connor. And she was 10 years old, a student, a cheerleader, who that day had decided not to go to school because she didn't want to confront the bully one more time. And in order to do that, she killed herself.
Oh, no.
And that day I cried. I think my tears hit the screen. And I said, that's it. I have an answer. I know how to solve this problem. And so I began working to create confident kids to eliminate bullying. You see, the reason I'd gone through all of my money, throwing good money after good money, I later realized was because I'd been bullied. And so I knew what that feel like, to feel not good enough, never going to make it, inadequate. And because I had believed the bully. So when I realized that it's only if we believe the bully that we get hurt, if I could help kids be more confident about who they are, then they would believe in themselves and they wouldn't believe the bully. So we wouldn't have the school shootings and the school violence and the kids killing themselves like we've been having. If we can develop kids who know who they are, and entrepreneurs as well. As entrepreneurs, we all go through adversity, and it's really being able to be resilient and believing in yourself based on who you actually are.
And that is so true. And I mean, you hear about that all the time. It just breaks my heart when I hear about a kid that took their life or tried to take their life. And then some of them, they even start acting out. And then before you know it, they're becoming mass murderers and stuff. And it all comes from, not all the time, but a lot of it does come from how they were treated, being dismissed a lot, ignored a lot, teased a lot, and of course, bullied a lot. So it's a huge thing. I want to kind of talk a little bit more now about some of the other things you're doing that I'm so proud of you for. Because when I was looking at your website, confidenceeliminatesbullying.com, what I love most about it, that you flip things around. Okay. And that's, I think, part of it. Don't you think, Marty? We have to kind of take the negative, turn it into the positive. We got to spin it different ways and flip things around, which you did. Instead of focusing on bullying, you put the focus on creating confidence, creating compassion, and connected adults and kids. You know, how did you know to spin it that way, and why does that work better than the traditional methods?
Well, it wasn't working. I mean, our statistics show that nothing's happened over the last 10 or 11 years, but bullying has gone up. And if you
Mm-hmm.
think about your life, whatever you focus on, you get more of. So the more we say anti-bullying, stop bullying, get rid of the bully, notice the word that I'm repeating over and over and over again.
Bully, bully, bully. Yeah.
We focus on what we don't want, well, we get more of it. So if you
Mm-hmm.
turn that around and focus on what you do want, which is creating confident kids that have compassion for themselves and others, and
Yeah.
adults who have compassion for themselves first, because you have to help the parents and the teachers to believe in themselves and see the gift they are to the world, and have compassion and understanding, and feel connected so that they can then give, right? We can only give what we have. So I
Yeah.
work with parents, teachers, and grandparents and administration so that they can have what they need to be more resilient themselves, to have greater emotional intelligence so that they can respond rather than react. And so I realized that by turning it around and focusing on what we wanted, well, we could get more of it.
This is someone that you want to plug into. I always tell people, if you're looking for great speakers, you're looking for people to be on your show, then, watch us on Careers from the Kitchen Table, because we're known for having the best of best. I mean, who's been here? Les Brown, Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy. I could go on and on and on. And she fits right in because she is just definitely an amazing, amazing woman that does a whole lot to give back. And that's what I'm looking for. I love guests like you, Marty, that bring it and they don't hold back. And why do you think it's important for us just to not worry about, always trying to get, accolades or money? Sometimes and we're holding back because we're afraid we might be sharing too much. I hate that, don't you? It's like, you got one shot, go for it, give it all you got, and don't hold nothing back. Take your time to shine and let your message shine, is what I say.
Right. Well, Raven, you're a wonderful example of that. With you're so bright, you're creative, you're so loving and kind, and so generous in all that you do, and you inspire us all to want to be like you, and to be able to you look at all the people that you've known, because they're attracted to that wonderful, dynamic, honest energy that you have, and so
Thank you.
that's you inspire us all to do that as well. But it's really scary, I think, for so many people, Raven, that we're so afraid that we won't be safe. Safe
Mm.
is what we all go back down to. I in my training that I do, my tag ambassador training, we talk about 5 personalities, and not the ones that you all are familiar with in all the other tests, but I have a test that I've created with Luis Garcia, whose work it's based on, and we have a way to be able to really get to it, so that thing about safety, you can learn how to feel safe within yourself, and to trust and believe in you based on the fact of how talented, able, and gifted you are. TAG, TAG. And that's
Hmm.
our soul signature. That's what God gave us. Our special package that was given to us is our soul signature. And when we can trust and believe in ourselves based on the fact that we actually are talented, able, and gifted, and based on reality of who we are, then we can have more courage to be able to share and not worry so much about what others think, but more about how do I feel about me at the end of the day.
Mm. I love that. How do I feel about me? And that's the bottom line. At the end of the day, when you lay your head down on the bed and you have a moment to really just meditate about what and how the day went for you, that's a good question. How do you feel at the end of the day? And that comes from, okay, what did you accomplish at the end of the day? What were you bold about? What did you hold back about? So I agree. Your Tag for Change program, is an excellent program. I know we just having people joining us, and because we're syndicated to a lot of different stations. So give us just a good two-liner about what Tag for Change is.
Well, the Tag for Change movement, it's really using a new model of emotional intelligence, where we teach adults and children how to relate to themselves and to others with confidence, compassion, connection, so that we create a more civil world. Our vision is actually to create a world where relationships are so meaningful that everyone is a confidence booster versus a fault finder, and no one wants to hurt themselves or others. And by doing that, how we do that is we see people through the eyes of Tag. So your talents, your abilities, and your gifts. Excuse me. And it's really the gift of seeing everyone through a lens of that appreciation, acceptance, and acknowledgement. And if we do that with our children each day, they start to stand up straighter. They start to say, oh, I'm an artist, which is a talent, or an artist, musician, a scientist, a game player. Maybe they're an athlete and they love football or soccer, or they're an artist that loves style and color and form. And when we start to describe our children that way, they start to believe in themselves. And when we talk to each other that way as well in the workplace. And now we have more and more people being confidence boosters rather than fault finders.
Your belief and what you're standing for now is a new equation for world humanity. What do you mean by that?
Well, the only math, I don't know about you, but the only math I could ever get a handle on was that algebra. And it made sense to me. So what I've created is C cubed plus A cubed equals how you relate to yourself and others and create world humanity. So C cubed is that being confident, compassionate, and having connection. Connection really is so important, Raven, to yourself first. Then you can connect to others, but you got to connect to you. And then ACE cubed is appreciation, acceptance, and acknowledgement. And as I appreciate, accept, and acknowledge you for who you are by pointing out your talents, abilities, and gifts, well, then you're going to shine and you're going to feel like you can do more in this world, that you could be able to make even greater changes than you already are with your fabulous radio shows and the books that you publish and the people you give an opportunity to be able to for us to shine. And we're all so grateful for all that you do for us.
Oh, boy, you got me feeling good over here. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I definitely get what you want. We all have to do our part. I always say one of my books is going to be eventually, don't waste the space that the good Lord has given you. And that's been an idea for years that I would love to really complete that book by the end of this year, because I really believe that, there's so many people, as you said, especially the young ones that take their life because they felt bullied. But there's so many people that have passed away. I'm sure friends of yours, mine's, and the different listeners out there. And they took their dream, as Les Brown always talks about, to the gravesite with them. They took their beliefs. They took what they really stood for because they held back. And one of my biggest models is don't wait to be great. Do it now. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's beautiful. And I think the thing is that people say, well, yeah, that sounds good, Raven, but how do I do it? And what I figured out, Raven, is really when you honor and value and you write a list, get out a pen and a paper and write a list of your talents, your abilities and gifts. So your talent is what you love to do. So you're a radio show host, you're a leader, you're analytical, you're intuitive, you're compassionate. You're an artist, you're a designer, you have a flair. And so your abilities are going to be creative, inventive, imaginative, analytical, mathematical, a sense of style, a sense of color, a sense of taste. And then the gift you give is your radio show, where that show, the gift it gives, is for people like me to have an incredible opportunity to reach new people, to inspire others. Your sense of style and design inspires us with your fun hats and the way you create those, and bring us joy and laughter is another gift you give. And so then people can say, wow, I do have something to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Based on that, I can do what Raven's suggesting. I can be great now because I actually do have a gift to give the world.
And we all have gifts. And again, thank you for that. We all have gifts. And this is what, I love about having shows and bringing on a top influencers like yourself, Marty, is because, people can look at each person that's brought on that we feature, each guest, and say, wow, and hear their story. If she came from bullying, if she created her show from the hospital, if he, was living on the streets, and they're able to do these things now, it doesn't mean that we reached the plateau. It means we're still climbing just like the rest of all of you. We're, in fact, I don't know about you, Marty, but I learned this from the late, great Jim Rome, that we should always be lifelong learners and not ever think that we just got it. We should always be trying to better ourselves, which, and keep going no matter what, despite the obstacles that all of us will face, the disappointments, the no-sayers and all that stuff. And it takes me back to your tag for change. I know that you have this awesome ambassador program. Can you talk a little bit about that? You got maybe about 2 minutes on that.
Okay. Well, the TAG Ambassador program, you can find out more on our website at confidenceeliminates-bullying.com/T4C -com. Dash training. And what it's about is training parents, teachers, administrators, corporate leaders in how to see each other through the eyes of their talents, abilities, and gifts, so that everyone is appreciating each other. And also we teach the next evolution in personal development. So when you say adversity, what happened to me is that I believed people who were calling me names and putting me down. And so, by me having greater emotional intelligence, me being able to transform feelings in the moment in a whole new way that's really never been taught before, you're able to do that in the moment. So when adversity hits, you're able to respond rather than react. And so you can talk to your children, talk to your coworkers in a way where you can create an atmosphere where it's a win-win for everyone. So the ambassador program is all around the world. We have a huge program in Africa, and I'll be going back there again. And we have influenced over 20,000 children and 3,000 adults, pastors, teachers, and parents. And so it just brings such joy and such light to the community, where everyone is working together and collaborating. And we want this for everyone. So our training is, for a parent, you can take the training. It's for a teacher, or it's for a school system, or it's for a corporation.
Awesome. Well, you talked about Africa, so let's take a moment and talk about that. Here's a picture of you. Tell us a little bit about it. Set it up for us.
Here we are. Yeah, we were in that school, and there's probably 450 kids in that school in about 95-degree temperature.
My goodness.
No running water, no toilets, right? And the thing, I'll tell you, this one was shocking to me. I saw a teacher with a big, long stick. And one of the reasons we went to Uganda was that we wanted to eliminate bullying. And the bullying there is that parents and teachers have been raised to believe that if you beat your child, cane your wife, that you're being a good parent and you're being a good husband. And when I saw the stick that teacher was using to guide these children to get in their seats, I just, my heart. So the beauty was that when I taught them a new way, when I taught them about how a child's brain actually develops, when I explained to them that there was another way to be able to have their children cooperate immediately, they were thrilled. They danced and they sang and they were filled with joy, thanking me over and over. So they stopped beating their children. They stopped beating their wives. And this here is very important too, on a different level. There's a soccer ball and a bucket on top of my head. And what we do, Raven, is we bring water filters to all the schools where our programs are being used, receive a water filter with a generous donation of people. I need 21 water filters. So if people are inspired by this, so that the children are drinking 300 gallons of clean water a day.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Instead of drinking out of a puddle. I mean, literally, scoop up puddle water. And and so for just a donation of $250, you can sponsor a water filter, and it's good for 10 years, 300 gallons a day for a school for 10 years. And you get your name on the bucket. You can see somebody's name on our bucket there. And you get the bucket, and we also get soccer balls. And the Ugandans are very clever people. And so the soccer balls that they create are made of banana leaves, plastic bags, and string. And they were thrilled to be able to have a real soccer ball. So,
my goodness, this is so amazing, so heart touching. Again, applaud you for being able to do that. But I know you do a lot more. I mean, you also go to corporations and different things and training about that. Tell us a little bit about that. And if someone is looking for, to get a keynote speaker, to get someone in to the schools, to your schools or colleges, or to have someone come in and talk to your corporation, you guys look at the screen. It's telling you how you can contact Marty. But go ahead, Marty, share a little bit about some of the other ways that you service out there. Well, because it's all about servicing, guys. It's all about taking your gifts and get out there and servicing the world. And you do a great job on that.
Right. So we go into schools. We're hired by school districts to go in and have the trainings for the teachers. So the teachers can talk tag with the kids. So every day the child hears how talented, able, and gifted they are. And when we talk to them that way, they cooperate. They respond. I had 45 kids I was working with one day, and 3 kids kept spinning away from me. And I could have said all the things. I was outside, by the way. I could have said all the things that you normally say, go inside and you don't deserve to be out here. And I could have done that. But instead I said, could you 3 spinning dancers spin your way over to me? And they looked like deer in the headlights, and they walked right over and they stood and they never moved a muscle. Because when we see them for who they are, when we see children just for expressing themselves, and we compliment in a way by saying, hey, you're a dancer, they respond because they feel seen. And so we do that in the schools. We do that in corporations where we go in and work with managers and employees and also CEOs, so that they are communicating and getting the best out of their employees, where they feel honored and valued, that their work matters, that they count, that they're being respected, and seen for who they are, and given opportunities to be more autonomous in their work and see the value of the kind of civility and dignity that can
That's awesome, Marty. Wow. That's amazing, amazing the work you do. And you're definitely servicing people in a huge way. You're taking, again, your dream is not about just a dream and a vision. You really have turned it into a reality and reaching out to people in Africa like you did. Well, awesome. You guys see that picture? I mean, that is just amazing. I mean, I can't even imagine being around so many. How many of those people there? It looks like thousands. How many were there?
That was probably a school of another 400 or 500. Yeah, I taught over 10,000 children when I was there.
Wow.
And I'm going back in November, and I'll be there for a month, and I'll be working with 350 pastors And I'm excited about that because when one pastor heard me speak, he had 17 churches under him. And he said, I used to beat my son while I read the Bible to him, and I will never do that again. And I thought, wow, if the ripple effect of if I talk to one pastor who has 17 churches, imagine the success ripple effect of our program hitting and reaching so many parents and grandparents and children so that they start to honor and value the gift that they are to the world.
And you are a big gift to the world, so we appreciate it. I want to jump in and ask you a couple more questions, and then we're going to wrap it up. And you guys, you're listening to Careers from the Kitchen Table, that beautiful lady on the screen. Oh, my goodness, looking like she's on Super Soul Sunday, but she's on Careers from the Kitchen. But Super Soul Sunday's coming up soon. Tell Oprah I said hi when you get there. And there she is there. I mean, just a beautiful person inside and out. We have her information on the screen. If you want to find out more from her, please do. Let me ask you this, Marty. You know, you're doing so much. There's so many different things that you're doing. What's next for you?
Well, next is really getting ourselves more involved in the schools and being able to reach more and more school districts. So people know of organizations, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, school districts, parent PTO organizations. That would be fabulous because the more we can share this, the more children are going to be touched. The less discipline problems we have in our classrooms, the less possibility of school shootings or suicides. It all decreases. And so I've done this before when I was a school-based social worker differently than I'm doing now, but the discipline problem decreased when we put in programs like I'm talking about. And so, and also going back again, I'm going to go to Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, and Burundi when I go back. So we've expanded to 4 countries now and reaching thousands more children and parents and teachers and pastors.
Wow, that is awesome. 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 Okay. As a grandparent and many other grandparents out there, and as anyone that really wants to help the Tag for Change or want to do their part, give us some specifics.
Well, there's
how we can do it.
To help here, what we're looking for is corporations to sponsor schools so that we can, to America, we can get into the schools that'll say, well, you know, now particularly with the money being focused, unfortunately, towards trying to put on glass windows and metal doors and things, we really need to have kids learn to believe in themselves, because when they do that, they're not going to want to do those acts of violence. Yeah. So that's why this is so important. So putting our resources where it will have long-term, long-lasting effect, that would be wonderful. You can sponsor a child in Africa for $30 a month. You can sponsor a child to go to school so that they don't get picked up by human trafficking, so that they have an education, so that they have food and clean water. Or for $250, we need 21. I want to bring 21 water filters with me so that your name, your corporate name can be on a bucket, and soccer ball, and the kids will be so grateful. You'll get a picture with the kids and the bucket and everything when So if that inspires
awesome.
You know, whether it's $5 or $5,000 or $50, whatever it is that inspires you to be able to support building this organization, this nonprofit. It's all, it's a tax deductible. And just knowing the gift that you are giving to these children, whether here in the United States or in Africa, to have
either way,
their dream come true.
That is just awesome. All right, final thoughts. Take it away, my friend.
Well, thank you. What's most important is that all of your listeners know how fabulous they are, what the gift they bring the world each day. You know, it's not that you're just a cook and that you make dinner every night. It's really that your gift of your cooking brings people together, brings your family together, gives everyone a chance to speak, to have an opportunity to express themselves. It gives you time to communicate and to connect. You provide so much for your family that seemingly is just taken for granted. You know, the carpooling that you do, and the picking up and the organizing and the planning that you're also fabulous at because you're women. You know, you really need to value and honor that and really respect that aspect of yourself. You know, with your talents, your abilities, and gifts, your ability is what it comes easily to you. And because it comes easily, we often dismiss it. We often don't value it the way in which it needs to be valued. And you may not be making the money that you actually could be making if you valued that aspect of yourself. So know that what you do the easiest is what you need to get paid the most for.
Ooh, love that. Love that.
So really start to look at yourself. You see, because as you fill yourself up with you, as you tag yourself for success, you're going to have more to give your children, more to give your coworkers, more to give yourself, and stay connected to you so that you can connect to everyone. And so join us in creating confident kids, creating adults that are confident as well, so that we can all become confidence boosters rather than fault finders, and to be able to create world humanity where there is civility and dignity and harmony.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Marty, for coming on Careers from the Kitchen Table Show. It's always our total ultimate pleasure to have you on our show, any of our shows. So thank you. We want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in and listening. And like the screen says, if you would like to have Marty as a featured guest or a featured speaker, there's information. Make sure that you contact her. Marty, you want to give them any additional information on contacting you? Yep. Feel free to do that.
If you go to confidenceeliminatesbullying.com, confidenceeliminatesbullying.com, you can look at our trip to Africa. You can see it all, and how to sponsor a kid, and how to get, find out about the ambassador training. And then you can also call me at 321-848-4997. So 321.
Awesome. Give them that phone number one more time. Let's say that number one more time.
321-848-4997.
All right. Thank you, Marty. Everyone, please share this with a friend. Let's stop bullying. Let's be a Tag for Change ambassador. Contact Marty. There's the information right on the screen. And stay tuned for another edition of Careers from the Kitchen Table. As Arnold Schwarzenegger used to say, I'll be back. That's it for now. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
If you are looking for a dynamic, engaging speaker for your next event, meet international transformation strategist and money mindset coach.
What happens is that when we fail, we shut ourselves down and we forget who we are. What I do is really the next evolution of personal development.
Marty Ward will show your audience how to stop struggling to make the money they yearn for and the difference they want to make, and get them ready to have their own amazing profit breakthrough.
And once you break through, well, the sky's the limit.
Looking for a dynamic, engaging speaker for your next event, conference, or training workshop?
I would get out a pen and paper because you're going to want to take notes.
Meet Marty L. Ward.
She shows me who I am, and I actually believe it.